Straya. How are you going? How you going? Are you good? Good, you should be. What is that, Jim? Well, it's Straya Day. We're cracking tins and we're going to talk some basketball. I do still reckon Straya Day should be May 8, and I still reckon our national anthem should be Grinspoon's seminal Just Ace. But anyway, it is Monday, January 26. I'm already a few tins in. You can probably notice my beloved Pats are in the Super Bowl. I've been talking hoops already on the NBA Supercoach show. I've already done NFL Straya as well, so I'm a little bit goosed. So today's show, it's a very quick one because it's already very late on Monday night, but I've got a full day with the Squid tomorrow. Still school holidaying, and I just want to get a show up and cover off just a couple of little things that are happening right now, but also a little bit of trade deadline table setting. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do like the trade deadline, the biggest domino pieces for each and every single team. Basically, who should be traded on every team and why. Now, this isn't personal, mostly, but basically, I just want to see where every team's kind of at and what they can do, what they kind of need, that sort of thing. So we're sort of just going to fang through all 30 teams. Sound good? Good. Great. Because that's all we're going to... We'll do a little bit of a weekend recap at the top because there's a bunch of injury news, a couple of games, etc. So without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1342 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And 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 you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
Oh, you better watch out for the heat attack if you're in Melbourne this weekend. Jesus, we had the weekend down in Lorne, down at the beach house, which was awesome. Good times, good hangs. Got to see the Smith Street Band. How crazy was that on Saturday? It was awesome. Hung out with my boy Will. Good weekend was had. Lots of fun. And it's going to be fire alerts tomorrow. So fingers crossed it's all good down there. But geez, we got out of there. And now home. You know, it's just lots of stuff to do for the rest of the school holidays. But anyway, essentially, what I wanted to do on today's show is a little bit of the daily whip around from the weekend, because there were some big injuries across Saturday, Sunday, right? The biggest being Giannis being back out for 4 to 6 weeks. He reckons with his calf again. He's like,
Last time this happened, it was 4 to 6 weeks, so that came back in some weeks.
You're like, all right. It did sort of feel like him rolling himself out past the trade deadline. Very, very handily timed, if you ask me. Outback Takehouse faking it, and so they trade him while he's injured so he never looks like the bad guy ever. That's where I'm at with Giannis at this point. There you go. Other injury news. Morant also out, which was... Again, interestingly timed. Same with Johnny Kuminga. Also interestingly timed, huh? 3 of the bigger names in the trade deadline sort of, conjecture. All out. Isn't that weird, Jim? Yes. Yes, it is. So, Kuminga's got a bone bruise in his knee. And Morant hurt his hand. So, not great. It's like like an elbow sprain or something like that. And not great. Elbow injury, that's what it was, elbow. So a few weeks, he'll be out. That's not great. It sort of throws it all into a little bit of you've got a good excuse, right? If you're now the Bucks, if you're now the Grizzlies, if you're the Warriors, the dude that you were going to trade is now injured and you go, wow, this is out of our hands. What can we do, Jim? It's like, I don't know, grow a pair and fucking do something. That's where I'm at with you. Just saying. Anyway, the other one was Devin Booker. His ankle injury that he had from last week is still a bit, iffy. So keep an eye on Phoenix because it's all just getting a little bit sideways on them pretty quickly. But some of the weird stuff over the weekend. OKC lost to Indy. Indy had 10 wins and 35 losses. OKC have now lost 2 on the trot and are 37-10. My 70 wins spruiking for the Thunder. Not exactly ideal. Hell, they might not even have NBA Finals home court. The Detroit basketballing Pistons are 33-11. The Thunder are 37-10. That's one game back in the loss column for the Pistons right now. So yeah, strange weekend there. You also had like 3 games postponed: Golden State, Minnesota, and the sort of Milwaukee got postponed as well as Memphis, Denver, due to weather. Those last 2. Golden State, Minnesota was postponed due to all the civil unrest because you've got just dudes being shot in horrible circumstances. What the absolute fuck? Word Jesus. It's horrifying shit. So stay safe out there, America. I'm just saying. Otherwise, Houston actually beat Detroit. We talked about this on Friday's show. Really fascinating game. Really fun one. You had a pretty crazy Denver-Milwaukee game where Giannis loses this, gets hurt, and Denver pull it out. Denver then sort of sit everybody the next day for their sort of basically what they were doing against Milwaukee was like sitting everybody in that game going, well, this is the back end of a double header. And Aaron Gordon sort of leaves that game late as well because he got hurt. So they were down like their 7 starters, I think. Hurt his hammy. So, yeah, they didn't play anybody in that game and still beat the Bucks. So, yeah, Giannis is, I don't know, that's why the timing of this seems a little bit sus, if you ask me. You also had Toronto beat OKC in a sick game. You had the Derrick Rose retirement ceremony, the jersey retirement, which is awesome because you get all the Tibbs Bulls back. That's very fun. They pull out a crazy win over Boston with Red Velvet, a.k.a. the Ginger Ninja, Kevin Huerter, hitting the game winner. That was unreal. So, yeah, big weekend. Lots of fun stuff in there. I watched a bit of it, bunch of it. You know, I was out there with the squids as well on the beach, having a grand old time. So, yeah, fun weekend. Where does that leave us, though, Jim? Well, I'll tell you what. Minnesota's a little bit all over the shop after that pretty crazy weekend. They got, smoked really by Golden State in the end, 111-85. But it sort of sets up this really strange, 9-day period before the trade deadline hits. And if you look at the standings, which is a thing that I like to do quite often, you can sort of pinpoint a few teams where you're like, hang on, what's going on here? Right? And a couple of other teams like, I think you're fine. Denver is one of those teams like, you've got nobody and you're still winning. This is awesome. Good job by you. You got teams like the Wolves who are in a bit of a tailspin out of absolutely nowhere. And I talked about them in the power rankings on Friday's show. They've only since kept on losing. It's a really bad situation there in Minnesota anyway, up there in Minneapolis. So you're kind of like, I don't know if we just want to ride this one out and see what happens. Like, it's just, come on, it's all going a little bit sideways, obviously. But then the really interesting ones are like Milwaukee, right? Giannis goes out. They're already 18-26. It feels like something has to give. So let's do this. We'll go alphabetically through the sort of domino pieces almost for each team, or at least what they should be looking to do. What can we be doing? What are we after on this team right now before the trade deadline? What are we doing, Jim? Well, I'll tell you. We're trading some dudes. First up, the Atlanta Hawks. Kaka! Well, they should trade whoever it takes except for Jalen Johnson and my man Dyson Daniels to go get Giannis. Simple. Geez, Jim, that's a bit reductive. Yes, mother. But really, it sort of feels like if you have the chance to have Jalen Johnson, who is a weapon, Dyson Daniels, who is a weapon. If you maybe keep Nick Alexander-Walker, you're laughing. Everyone else, have at it. We just want Giannis. So you can have your pick. Off we go. Poos. Because the Hawks have that best of the Pelicans Milwaukee picks, right? Which is awesome. The reason Atlanta should just do this now is because they go, hey, Giannis, do you want to sign an extension with us? He's like,
Yes, I would like to very much.
if he doesn't, you don't pull the trigger, right? But if they get Giannis and they still keep Jalen Johnson, they still keep Dyson Daniels, it suddenly gives them a legitimacy that they've not had in a bajillion. Because even the Trae Young Eastern Conference Finals run, that was mostly because of Philly shitting the bed than anything Atlanta really did, you know what I'm saying? And even like the Josh Smith, Joe Johnson years, no one was really terrified of that team. They were just like a very solid, well-coached operation that, like, I don't know, what took this 2008 Celtics to 7 games in the first round in a hairy situation. And otherwise, no one was afraid of them. So Giannis on that team suddenly becomes like Dominic Wilkins, right? Of just like, holy shit, but he's already won a title. So he's already better than Dominic. I don't know. Atlanta, just go get him. And like, yeah, you can cut bait with Zachary Rissochet. That guy gives you a little bit of something here and there. The Extreme Zinger Meal, same sort of vibe, right?
Extreme Zinger Meal.
He's just never healthy because he's Kristaps Porzingis. Welcome to the NBA. He doesn't play. Anyway, Atlanta, just go get Giannis. Whatever it takes, that's your domino. But look, because I don't know if they need to make any other moves around the edges now they've moved off Trae. Like, they don't need to move Rissochet. They can just keep rolling it back. They're a team that's 22 and 25. They won a couple on the trot. They might just be heading in the right direction. But either way, their dominoes are whatever it takes to get Giannis. Boston, their kind of thing is the same like situation. They're pointing in the right direction, but they are 5-5 in their last 10. Just getting a little bit sideways here and there. Still kind of feels like they need a little bit more size. Simons is very, very handy off the bench. The strange situation is if they can just look, the Simons thing, if they can cut some salary and get under that second apron properly, so they avoid any and all like real repercussions, they probably ought to do it. But Simons is so good, and they're the 2 seed right now, that I feel like Boston, like, what can they really do? Like, can they go get Time Lord or another big, like, maybe? It's going to get real bloody hard, real bloody quick. You've already got Hugo. He's looking pretty good. You've got Simons. And I feel like Simons might be the sacrificial point where if you're staggering Peyton Pritchard, Derek White a little bit more, I don't know. But I don't know. If you know that Tatum is coming back, maybe, just maybe, you go, fuck it, we don't need to make a move. Or you go, fuck it, we probably don't need Simons once Tatum comes back. So maybe we should move him and try to get like a half-decent backup big or another starting big if we can get like Time Lord or somebody, right? Ultimately, here's one. Can we just move like, I don't know, Josh Minott and go get Duop? A shooting big. Hashtag free Duop. Let's go, Boston. But Simons is probably, that's the big domino piece if they want to have a swing. I'm not entirely convinced they need to, but if they do know that Tatum's going to come back, they can probably afford to do that. We'll see what happens. It's a fascinating setup for that Boston Celtics team though, isn't it? Because it sort of still feels like they just need that sort of size somewhere. But there is an interesting sort of plan that they've got around your man, Coach Joey Muzz. Oh, bro, we're going to watch The Town. Did you know there's like a new movie that's kind of like The Town, but not, bro? We're going to watch that pretty soon, I'll tell you. Okay, Joey Muzz. Brooklyn, obviously the big domino is Michael Porter Jr. And it feels like there's enough teams out there clamoring for his sort of, I don't know, scoring punch, veteran nous, but are at least given enough pause by his general fuckheadedry that they're kind of a little bit like, maybe he's just fine on his own team, putting up numbers on a horrible fucking shitty team. Which is fine. So he's the big domino. The other one is Cam Thomas, who, again, qualifying offer, signed in the offseason, if another team wants to give up anything to get like some really decent bench scoring punch, they should jump at Cam Thomas. The Nets, they're still just in acquisition mode for like talent or for picks. The funniest thing would be if they just hold on to Michael Porter Jr. But he's their big domino. They need to trade him because they should be out. Like, this is still another piece of the Kevin Durant trade, right? So KD goes out. They get Mikal Bridges. Bridges goes out. They've got Cam Johnson still. Cam Johnson goes out. They keep Michael Porter Jr. They've almost turned Kevin Durant into like 10 first-rounders at this point. The big problem is it's the Brooklyn Nets using those first-rounders and they're drafting like dog shit. So here we are. Thing is, if you get one really decent-ish looking first for MPJ, cool. If you get two shitty ones, I don't know, sure. The thing is, if the deal's not there, the deal's not fucking there, right? And you can keep Michael Porter Jr. and do your thing with him, and maybe he like rises in value next year. But I feel like you got to move one of KPG or Cam Thomas. So do something, Brooklyn. Charlotte, they should move. Look, you want to say LaMelo, that's the big domino. But look, I also just want to see LaMelo and Connie Nips and Brandon Spindles-Miller do some shit. I would desperately love to see them trade that piece of shit, Miles Bridges. So they have this weird situation when they've got like a lot of dudes. Grant Williams is still on this team, don't forget. And he has come back just in time for them to showcase him before the trade deadline, which I enjoyed. And because I want to keep Josh Green, I think, on the Hornets because he's kind of what they need. Defensive wing, not after his own shot. Him next to Connie Nips. Suddenly you got like a bit of an interesting wing rotation. If you can piss off Miles Bridges, now we're cooking. But Jimmy puts up good numbers. Yeah, but he's a piece of shit and fuck him. He's averaging 18 and 6 this year, but that guy sucks. And also, I think if you get rid of him, you give more time to Brandon Spindles-Miller, more time to Connie Nips, more defensive time for Josh Green, and off you go. Anyway, LaMelo would be the big one, but it should be Miles Bridges. Chicago! It should be Kobe White. It's the Chicago Bulls, so it'll probably be no one, and that's just what they're going to do. And ideally, like they've just had the Derrick Rose retirement ceremony, all hunky-dory. It's awesome fun, awesome vibes are there for the Bulls. They probably don't want to trade Vooch right now, but they probably should. Oh no, Jim. Yeah, they should probably do it though, shouldn't they? But Kobe White, I feel like you can probably get a really good return for him. The problem is, you know what Chicago have just done? What have they done, Jim? Jim, what have they done? Your Chicago Bulls are back. They're back, baby. They're back above 500. They're 23-22, baby. 4 on the trot they've won. Gids has been back the last couple of games coming off the bench. They won't want to rock the boat because they're at 500. That's exactly where Chicago want to be. But their big domino ought to be Kobe White or Vooch. They'll do neither. They're too afraid. They're a bunch of cowards. Cleveland. That's right, Cleveland. It should be Darius Garland. I love Darius Garland. I am wildly unconvinced that he and Donnie Mitchell can be on the same team now. It's just been so much of this Donnie Mitchell-Garland sort of duo just not hitting the heights you'd expect them to. And Donnie Mitchell's pretty good by himself. They throw Jalen Tyson at the 2 and they look awesome. So, yeah, Garland, I don't know. What can you get for him, though? That's going to be the tough ask. And if you sort of look around the league, you're like, who needs a Darius Garland? And Minnesota's like, us. And it's like, what do you got to give us? And they're like, nothing. Right? It's just really fucking tough. This is why the trade deadline this year is like this weird sort of janky operation where no one really wants to do anything because they're all a little bit afraid. Yeah. So Garland should be the domino. And obviously Cleveland probably need a little bit more defense at the guard positions and on the wings. They also need more shooting. Miles Bridges, anybody? Look out. Dallas should trade Anthony Davis. That should be the big domino. I don't want them to, though. I'm going to drink my beer. Just give me 1 second. Happy Straya Day. AD should go. That's the domino. I also don't want them to do that. I want them to roll out with, a half-decent fucking team around a rookie phenom like Cooper Flagg and just go, hey, Cooper Flagg, there's a really good veteran big in Anthony Davis. And here's a superstar point guard, Kyrie Irving. Let's see what you guys can do. They should kick the tires on moving Dan Gafford, though. Because they're not doing shit this year. Stop trying this year. Quit it, Dallas. You've got your pick. Don't fuck around. What are you doing? They should add to that war chest and move Gafford. Denver. The funniest thing would be if they moved off Cam Johnson. But as I said, they're all so banged up. I don't think they need to do anything because once they get their dudes back healthy, Denver feel like rolled gold. Right? Cam Johnson would be the funniest trade target. The trade domino where they go, yeah, look, we fucked this one. Who wants a Cam Johnson? That would be funny. It wouldn't be great if you're a Nuggets fan, but here we are. Because you feel like with Denver, there's at least a lot of depth when their dudes are healthy. And even when their dudes haven't been healthy, they keep winning games. So I don't know. They're in a weird situation. Cam Johnson feels like the most ancillary part so far. Detroit basketball. See you, Karis. Breaks my heart, but Karis LeVert. My sweet baby. It's just a little bit too janky. He and Jaden Ivey are probably the two big pieces that they can move if they want to have a swing. But at the same time, I'd rather see them just sort of hang out and just go, look, our chemistry's that fucking good. We're fine, mate. Everybody always wants to trade something onto something. Oh, we need to upgrade this spot. Do you? You've upgraded that spot being a team. You've upgraded your team by being fucking legends with each other. You're going to bring in some other fucking dude who might just fuck it up. I don't know, man. Ride the vibes. Didn't we learn anything from the Golden State Warriors in 2015? Ride the vibes. It's going to be all right. So Detroit, you're fine, but you've got your pieces. It's Karis. It's Jaden Ivey. Does anybody want one of these? Golden State. I mean, it's Jimmy Butler. It's Jimmy Butler. He's getting 58 mil in the next 2 years. He's out for a full year. He's done an ACL. He's already going to be 37. What are you doing? It's not going to be some fucking miraculous comeback and he's going to take you to the promised land with Steph. You've got to do something. Come on, Golden State. Bite down hard on the piece of wood. Send Kuminga and Jimmy Butler away for something. If it's a Giannis-sized dude, then you should fucking have already done it. I shouldn't be telling you. Houston, that's Fred VanVleet. God bless his cotton socks. But he is obviously the big trade domino that they have that's not going to impact their current team because he's already out for the season. So if somebody wants to get off a bunch of cash and go out and get that Fred VanVleet contract, wipe it off their books, Anthony Simons possibly, that sort of stuff. I don't know. That's the big trade spot for the Rockets. They probably just need to go get Chris Paul on the cheap though, don't they? Just to solidify their playmaking as a backup. So just saying. But Houston, that's their big one. Fred VanVleet. Benny Mathurin for Indy. Sort of seems like the one that's a little bit more available than you would have thought. And it feels like they want a big. Like any big. They're like, can we get a big? Gafford would obviously be pretty handy there. Nick Claxton, if they want to go and start pillaging Brooklyn. Pretty smart move, I reckon, there. As a pretty handy defensive-minded big man. But yeah, Indy, they're kind of like, does anybody want a Benny Mathurin? Anybody? Whereas, like a lot of their value is obviously Andy Nemhard, Halliburton, obviously Siakam, our boy Johnny Furphy. But it feels like Mathurin is the one that's kind of like, if somebody wants him, you can have him. Off you go. Because they've got Naismith, they've got a bunch of those sort of dudes. And Benny Mathurin sort of feels like the big trade chip that they've got. Well, a trade chip. And if they want to do something to get a big, he's the guy. Clippers. What's the big domino there? They don't want to trade Zoobs, and they shouldn't want to trade Zoobs. John Collins is kind of like a thing, but I don't know. They probably need more John Collins than anybody else. The trade chip is Kawhi. It is, isn't it? That's their domino. But they're riding into the sunset with Harden and Kawhi, and they're rooted anyway. So good luck, Clippers. Thing is, as I said, when you're looking at the standings and you keep thinking about the Clippers, they just keep winning. They're 21-24. They're in the play-in already. The Clippers are going to be fine. as long as Kawhi's knee holds up at some point, they'll be okay. They kicked the absolute bejesus out of the Nets. Kawhi came back. He had 28. Yeah, they're all right. But, I mean, in terms of other bits, Derek Jones Jr., if they want to move him, Bogdan, it feels like he's never gotten into a groove as a Clipper ever. But yeah, I feel like Bogdan, Derek Jones Jr., who's out for another month and a bit, if people are just like wanting to sacrifice a bit of salary for anything, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, bit of a weird one for the Clippers. The Lakers, the big domino is LeBron James. I don't know. Yeah, had that absolute flog Shams. It looks like it's heading for a divorce in LA between the Lakers and LeBron James. Oh, does it, Shams? Fucking well spotted. Did all your journalism skills come into play when you found that one out? Yeah. I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind them kicking the tires and maybe moving him. How about, I don't know, Bronny? Send him and LeBron off to like Miami or Cleveland. Just send him back to one of the places he's already been. Obviously, their big domino trade chip is Reeves. But I feel like when in the past when Luka's really, really, really succeeded, it's been with Brunson, with another creator next to him, Kyrie, etc. LeBron's 41. Like, what are we doing here? Right? So, yeah. Rui's actually surprisingly fine. Gabe Vincent is just a shit show, but yeah, LeBron's actually the big domino. If he just goes, look, can I just fucking peace out? The thing is, the Lakers are just a sneaky little bit too good-ish this season, right? They're still in 5th. They're 10 games above 500. I don't know. You just ride this one out, don't you? The Memphis Grizzlies. They've got, I mean, Jar's obviously the big domino, but he's already injured. After that, it's obviously Triple J, but that's only if you're wanting to go full blow it up and fucking rebuild mode. And I don't think they want to, and I don't think they should. You could probably see what you can get for KCP, right? Other than that, it's mostly like young dudes and stuff, or like Santi Aldama, who they love, and other teams should covet, but they're not going to get it. But the big domino is obviously Jar. If you decide to keep him, you keep him. And just shut the fuck up and roll the dice and keep going. Miami, the big one's Tyler Hero. You've got Norm Powell. I don't think you need Tyler Hero. With all, it's just, you don't, right? You just don't. What are we doing here? See what you can get for Hero. It should be a lot. This Miami team just leaves me feeling fucking strange, though. You're just like, what are you? What is you, Miami? What is you? The thing is, with Hero injured, and Miami are like 25 and 22, it feels like they can get by without Hero. If they can get stuff for Hero, they should be doing it. Right? Garland, anybody? Look out. Yeah, that'd be a fun one. I mean, they're obviously still there going, big game hunting for Giannis. It's a buck, get it? But still. Hero, Giannis, yeah. Miami, look out. Speaking of which, Milwaukee's the next one. Obviously, their big domino is Giannis. If he goes, I don't want to be here anymore. I keep getting hurt, and also this team is shit house. Yep, that's what happens, right? Outside of that, do you want a Kuzma? Anybody want a Kuzma? I got a Kuzma here. It's a Kuzma. Who wants a Kuzma? Kevin Porter Jr.? No, nothing, right? Giannis, Bobby Portis, full-blown fire sale. I don't know. If you can get your picks back, just do it. Minnesota. This is the weirdest one, right? I think, because obviously Rob Dillingham, you want to sort of like let him do his thing. He's also not helping his own case here. Bones Highland. Is it Julius Randle? Maybe. Where you go, hang on, what can we get for Julius? It's a really strange situation there in Minnesota. 27 and 19. 5 straight losses. Right? Ant-Man and Dante DiVincenzo. If the Dillingham pick had sort of worked out even a little bit, he's just, 5 minutes, 8 minutes. Just come on, man. The problem is you're not going to get anything for him either. So, yeah. Maybe you should be looking at, like, Randall is a really good second banana. Rudy's a really, really solid rim protecting defensive big. We get it. McDaniel's really good as well. Dante, shoot. Yeah. It's just not working right now. But they might be okay. So maybe their big one is Randall. But it's also like them going, oh, fuck it. We're going to get out of the Dillingham business. New Orleans, that's everybody. The problem is Trey Murphy should be the massive one where they just go, what will you give us for Trey Murphy? Everybody. Herb Jones, probably want to keep. Look, in an ideal world, you get rid of the shit guys. Right? That's Jordan Poole. You probably get off your man Zion too. Right? I've long beaten this drum. Zion. Is he an impact player? Only if he runs into you. His game is just like his diet. Empty calories. You got Fears. You've got Derek Queen. I'm just saying. If you keep Murphy, keep Jones, trade Poole, Sadiq Bey, even Zion, I'm fine with it. But have at it. Them saying, oh, no, we want to keep everybody. It's like, shut up. The Knicks, obviously, their big domino is Cat. Right? I think it's going to turn, right? And it already turned a little bit. That's how these things go. The NBA turns on a dime. And you get a couple of wins under your belt again and you're feeling good. They've won 2 on the trot now. They smashed Brooklyn the other day. They beat the Sixers in Philly. The Knicks are going to be fine. Like, the Knicks lose, 5 of 6 or whatever. The sky is falling. That's the Knicks. That's part and parcel of being the New York Knicks. The big domino is still Cat. If you can get something for him that you think is decent, they'll probably do it. OKC. It's not a player. It's them picks. OKC, it's them picks, right? Because their trade assets, their big dominoes is all them picks that they've got. So at some point they've got to, basically get all those picks because they don't have enough roster spots for all those picks to go into. So they're going to have to do something with them. And combining some of these picks to move up in drafts maybe, moving someone like Caruso or Dort who you feel like might be expendable with some of those picks to go get someone like Trey Murphy. That's something you could maybe think about doing. But yeah, it's them picks for OKC. Orlando. It's a weird one. It's probably Johnny Isaac and there's not much else because they gave up a shit ton to go get Desmond Bain. And again, because they're the Orlando Magic, they should check to see if they're built their practice facilities built next to the Niners. What is it? The electronic substation, like the Niners practice facility is, because they're always hurt. They've lost 3 on the trot. Lost to the Grizzlies, the Hornets, and the Cavs. And they just Bada Bancaro is fine. Franz Wagner, when he's back, it's fine-ish. He didn't play in that one. They got Suggs back, and you're like, well, this usually it takes a 4 or 5 game period, and they finally usually get their shit sorted again. But I don't know, man. But yeah, they're extraneous dudes. It's like Johnny Isaac, and I don't know. Because Anthony Black's awesome. Goga, he's all right. You've got Mo Wagner as well. You got to figure out if Franz and Paolo can play on the same team. So I think it's around the edges. You let these guys roll for the minute. Philly. Oh, look out. It's Paul George or it's Embiid, isn't it? Uh-oh. They're the big dominoes because you're not touching Maxey. You're not getting VJ. The much more realistic one is Jared McCain, who's now on the Delaware Bluecoats, the G League team. Any team that sort of needs a ball handler, spark plug kind of guy should be absolutely fucking trying to get Jared McCain. Again, I'm looking directly at you, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Do something. Jesus. But yeah, Philly, big dominoes are the big dogs, right? Embiid and Paul George. Probably not going to move them. I think you just want to have a bit of runway where they just get healthier and you can see what they can do with Maxey and VJ, right? Maybe you can upgrade some of the backup wing spots with the Jared McCain, Kelly Oubre package somewhere. I don't know. Bit of a weird one, but McCain can maybe get you something. Phoenix, it's probably Nick Richards. He's like the sort of weirdly the odd man out there in Phoenix. So if anybody needs like a kind of big-ish kind of dude, Boston, maybe go get Nick Richards. I don't know. It's not going to cost you too much. But Phoenix are weird because they're made up of all these little bits and pieces of like, you know, spare parts, apart from Booker and Dylan Brooks, really. And they sort of, they're in a little bit of a janky spot. They just lost to Miami today. And I don't know. It's not like they're going to go big game hunting with all those spare parts anyway. But if you can get some more assets back, that's what they probably should be doing. Because you're not going to trade Booker. You're probably not going to trade Brooks, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal. It's kind of like those are the dudes who are sort of just keeping you afloat right now. So anyway, Portland, it's probably Time Lord, right? You like your other bigs. Time Lord's the extra one. They shoot, and Jeremiah Grant. Like Portland are in this weird situation where like they got these dudes. Denny has hurt his back a little bit, sat out the last game, and they're kind of like going, right, well, we've got Giroux, we've got Tamani Kamara, I've got Denny. Do we need a Jeremiah Grant? What do you reckon? Still out like almost 20 points a game. What can we get for him? Do we need to move him? Or do we just try to trade Time Lord and just sort of have at it? It's like, I don't know. What are you trying to do here? They're a strange team, Portland. I love them, but yeah. Is young Hansen able to back up Donovan Clingan properly? I don't know. It's a weird situation there in Portland. Sacramento. I mean, the big domino is probably Souvlaki King, Domantas Sabonis, right? They should be fucking like Keon Ellis. People love Keon Ellis. I don't mind a bit of Keon Ellis. He's the sort of ideal dude outside of Sacramento that people go, he's good. His team's shit. If we get him out of there, he'll be fucking good on our team. There's plenty of teams like Keon Ellis and someone like Cleveland. I feel fucking really good about, but it's obviously Souvlaki King, Domantas Sabonis. It's Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. It's fucking all of them. Because that team is a horror show. Get them all out of there, Sacramento. San Antonio. The San Antonio Banderas Spurs. Their big one, I mean, it's probably, like, Jeremy Sohan is probably the only one where you're like, we don't even really have a proper role for this dude anymore. And I don't know what we do about it, right? So, because Harrison Barnes is probably the other one, but Black Falcon is like super handy. Whereas Jeremy Sohan just sort of doesn't play or do much. And he was a top 10 pick like 3 years ago. Like, what are we doing? It's crazy that he's just completely fallen by the wayside. He doesn't really have a spot. He doesn't really shoot very well. But some other team probably needs him. So it's probably Jeremy Sohan, right? Right? Because I don't think you want to trade Black Falcon. I think you want to keep that sort of bigger wing nous around. Toronto! It's RJ Barrett. I mentioned this the other day. I had some Raps fans go, yes, Jim. I'm like, aha, nailed it. Emmanuel Quickley's now going off his head. So, yeah, RJ is sitting there going, fuck, am I the odd man out? What the hell just happened, man? I'm from Canada. So, RJ Barrett, I talked about this the other day. Like, he feels like the dude Detroit, if they do want to sort of like go and upgrade the Tobias Harris spot, it's like, well, maybe we get RJ Barrett, bit of extra playmaking. What else does he do? That's it, right? Like, go get RJ. It feels like that's the biggest domino because, I don't know, the rest of that Raptors team, they're fine at the moment, so off you go. Utah, it's Lowry Markkanen, isn't it? That's the big one. They've just got to figure out whether or not they want him to be a Yaz man for a long time or not. Nobody else knows. Other than that, they are showcasing Nurk as hard as they possibly can. It's like, hey, look, he's had 3 triple doubles. It's like, holy shit. Utah absolutely showing him off. I love that. They're like, Nurk, Bulls need better. Do a thing. He's like, okay, me do good. They're 15 and 31. Yeah, they should be trading Lowry. They should go get rid of Nurk as well. And Washington, I mean, it's probably Chris Middleton, but I don't mind having your championship winning wing veteran guy just stick around for a little bit longer. He could also be fucking Jack of it and just go, I'm sure a contender could use my skills. Can you please trade me? Because other than that, like the rest of that Washington team is all young dudes. They're still 10 and 34. And, you know, they've got Trae Young just sitting at home while these guys just have a fucking crack. So, yeah, it's probably Chris Middleton. There you go. All right. That wasn't bad. How about a bit of game previews for tomorrow? Oh, yeah. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Oh, yeah, not bad. We have got one more week of this sort of 3 episodes a week sort of thing. We'll change it back to the sort of normal one next week, I reckon, once the squid's back at school. But let's do a quick Paddy Mills Game Day, Baller Game Day Twitter check-in. See what Paddy's been up to. Where you at, Paddy? There we go. Talking about his shot. All his shot making, but nothing new of late. So, I don't know. Hopefully he's working on something. Who else we got? I think we got a... Did we get a Josh Giddey pop-up, I think? I thought I saw one. Gids, yes. We got a new Josh Giddey. Bang. New Josh Giddey just dropped. There we go. It's him driving on Boston, kicking over to Kobe. Red Velvet. Bangarang. Not bloody bad. On you, Josh Giddey. All right. Game previews for tomorrow. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, good. I'm enjoying hanging out with the fam. Had a good weekend. As I mentioned, Smith Street Bound on Saturday at the Lawn Pub. Did not know they were playing. Rolled in there for a beer. They were setting up. I'm like, that's Will. It's a couple of my other mates. I'm like, this is wicked. And they're doing a, fundraiser for like the floods that hit the week after the bloody fires. So good on them. Tomorrow, remember, you can find all of our picks over at Dabble. Just use the link in our show description or social bios. It'll take you right there and you can check it all out. We have an early 5:30 a.m. start tomorrow. So I think that's because of all the weather chaos that's going on. So Indy at Atlanta. I'm going to go the Hawks here. They're -5.5. Indy got a big win the other day. Chaos gear. I still think the Hawks will be a little bit too good. I think they're sort of just, pointing in the right direction all of a sudden. Philly, Charlotte. Fascinating one. Philly just getting a little bit sideways all of a sudden. And Charlotte are feisty at home. They are actually favorited in this game. -3.5. I might, with that in mind, go the Sixers. +3.5. I'll take that. I think they could lose a close one. It's going to be a fun game. Maxey versus LaMelo. Let's go. Orlando versus Cleveland. Also a fun game. I'm going to go the Magic +5.5. I think they can keep that close. Throw Suggs. Oh, if Suggs plays. Yeah. Throw Suggs on Donnie. Anthony Black. Balabancaro. Let's go the Magic Men +5.5 in Cleveland. Portland to Boston. I'm going to go the Blazers, maybe. Denny set out the last game with the back soreness. He might not play this one. If there's no Denny, I'll take Boston -8.5. If Denny does play, we'll take Portland at the line. Lakers, Chicago. That's right. Remember Josh Giddey's half-court buzzer-beating game winner. Bulls are +1.5 against the Lakers. I might take the Bulls. He said, ? Yeah, I might take the Bulls. They're playing with a bit of fucking belief all of a sudden. Lakers on the road. Let's go Chicago. They're not used to that cold, are they, the Lakers? And it's very cold right now. Memphis, Houston. We're going to go the Rockets -10.5. The Grizz just a little bit janky at the moment. And Minnesota, Golden State. Another game between these two. Golden State won today. I think we see the Wolves bounce back. They're 7.5 point favorites, though. I Still take the Wolves. I think they've got a really big showing in them, so let's go the Wolves right there. But there you go. That's it. Australia Day quickie for you. It's not that quick. It's still in a long while. But we'll be back on Wednesday for a bit more of a sort of, issue-y, what's going on in the NBA kind of show, as we tend to do on the Wednesday shows. We'll probably talk a lot more trade stuff. We'll see what happens in the meantime. We'll be back to the regular sort of schedule, I think, next week. So that'll be Sunday night shows. Sunday night, big show. Tuesday, big show. Friday, big show, I think. We'll sort of figure that out as we go, but that's what we do. Anyway, that's it for today. We're back on deck on Wednesday. Make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, YouTube, TikTok, all the good stuff right there. NFL Australia with myself and Gaz is already up. We jumped the gun on it this week because Gaz is up in Brisbane. My Pats are in the soupy. I'm wearing the hat right now if you're watching on the YouTube. It's all awesome. I'm stoked. And you can come hang out with me if you want at the Catfish in Fitzroy for the Super Bowl party. I'll be there. It's going to be awesome. What a day. So Monday, what is it, February 9? From 8:30 in the morning. Game will start around, 10:30? But yeah, we'll be there from Sparrow's Fart. It's going to be awesome. So come hang out with your mate Jim and his mate Kaz. You can also get around. Jim does Supercoach for NBA Supercoach gear. That is a very, very quick turnaround lockout this week. So you better go listen to it and make your changes right now, because I'm going to double dip on mine right now. I'll tell you that much. Rate, review, star, subscribe across all your podcast apps as well, of course. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Big thanks also to Josh for Laurentiis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa Section, Green, and Dozers behind all the tunes you hear on the show. Smash them on your music streaming platform of choice. I've just forgotten how to speak. It's really good. Anyway, that's it. No, nothing at the end of this one. I've got to get out of here because it's very, very late. So I'll chuck this up and we'll catch you on Wednesday, you dickheads. Until then, this is NBA Straya saying look after yourselves, would you? And go Pats! Later.